Q is always inappropriate. All right, what's up, everybody? It's Trent, Q, Laughing Dragon, Blowing Smoke. What's up? I'm gonna get this going. So, sorry, it's on my profile tonight. It won't work on the live on the other one. So,
probably better anyway.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Nada, what you up to?
Oh, we're just starting Blowing Smoke.
Oh, well, isn't that fun?
Well, you know,
I'm just in time.
so far it's been fun. All right, so what's new this week, Q? Why don't you start us off telling your big news?
All right, my big news is July 25th, 2020, the Lit Cannon Cup.
Woo!
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Prizes: biggest fish, best buds, best wax. We'll have little gadgets out there. We'll probably do like a raffle or something for one of these guys.
Which is the Focus Carta 5.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it drops amazing hits. Very, very good. What else? Trying to get high times out there. If anybody knows anything with some bands, I want to get some bands out there.
Comedians. How about comedians?
I guess we can
People-
have a comedian for a little bit, yeah.
What else is
Who
better
doesn't
than
like
laughing?
to get high and laugh?
Yeah, getting medicated
Comedians,
and laughing is the way
definitely.
to go.
And let's not forget the food vendors. Get
Yeah.
high, let's get the munchies, let's eat.
So Casey Blue, which couldn't be here, Casey, she had she was helping out at some really cool like old people thing tonight, like an old people dance. I was like, that's really cool. Okay, so she couldn't be here, she wanted to be, but she is wanting to do some cooking stuff out there. I kind of like talk with her on Facebook, and she was, I forget who, but we're like, yeah, let's have like we're gonna have a can of cooking, like camping, camping fest.
Yeah,
Right?
that sounds dope. Yeah.
Right? So that'd be...
And then, another event I want to throw is we have this restaurant we're gonna rent out, and maybe do like a Hell's Kitchen, because I got some chefs that I want to infuse some THC, with some high class meals.
Right.
So you have, your appetizer, your main meal, and then a dessert. And I got somebody that's good with some desserts too. So
Yeah.
I think
Stephanie could do some desserts, and then Matt
and
Marty.
maybe
Marty, we need
If we
you in
can-
on this cannon
Marty,
cooking.
yeah, if you're willing to come out, do this event, that'd be very awesome.
Sounds like some good times.
All right, so Jamie is on. What's up, Jamie? He says, smoke one for me. Hopefully I can by Tuesday or Thursday at the latest. Because holy crap, I forgot all about that. Hey, Casey, could you bring my notepad over with all my notes on it? So, guys, a really awesome thing happened.
We'll smoke a bunch for you.
We Thank you, my lovely assistant, Casey.
Run away now.
Yeah, what were we saying?
I threw you off, didn't I?
I'm
I'm that
already.
type of
Oh,
person.
Jamie.
Yeah.
That's right. So Jamie, what's really cool is Lyndall came out with a piece of paper, a memo that went to all the law enforcement. I happen to be the one that told everybody about it because I was really excited. But we were able to get an official letter. Spark Legal was able to get an official letter from Lyndall, submitted it to the prosecuting attorney, and supposedly she's supposed to take a really hard look at it.
That'd be nice.
Which, even if she takes like a really, really like cursory look, where it's just like,
Takes a look at all.
if she takes a look at all, she's gonna be like, oh, I was wrong. And then, what government doesn't understand is all they have to do is say sorry.
Right.
Right? Like,
Simple.
the citizens understand you make mistakes. But, without saying sorry, it doesn't, your mistake is just
That's
that.
them
Well,
having to admit that they're wrong,
There's
though.
got to be a little bit more than just saying sorry, though. In my
Well, in
opinion.
Jamie's case, yeah, Jamie's case,
'cause
he
if
better
you had
get
to pay
paid.
to get bond out,
Yes,
like,
$10,000.
Yeah, give them that money back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
for sure. Do they not get that money back? I don't know how bonds and bail and all that
You
stuff
don't get the
works.
money back?
It's a
You don't
pain in
get the money back for
not
real?
Not unless you throw a big fuss and stink
Uh-uh.
about it, or you turn around and you sue the city.
That's right,
Like,
yeah.
and
Yeah, that's what they're
gonna
gonna
cost them
do.
another $10,000 to find another attorney for them to
Exactly.
actually sue them.
They should just take it out of the highway patrol and out of that Annie Gibson's pay. All that money that they're about to lose, they should take it out of their pay
Trent,
because
I
it
love
was
you.
all
You
there.
thinking that when people go to jail,
I
when
thought
they
I
have to
thought it
pay
was
bond,
like
you get money back. Hell no.
well, no, I thought it was like
Uh-uh.
this thing like if you go to court and everything and you show up, then you get your money back.
No, it don't work that
That's
way.
bullshit.
It does not work
So
that
wait,
way.
so basically you're paying them to not have to be in jail while you await your
Yep.
court case,
Yeah,
Yep,
and you don't get that money back.
exactly.
not at all.
Gone.
See ya.
I don't know if everybody out there, maybe you guys all knew that already, but holy
This
crap,
is what you do.
I gotta smoke
Yep.
some, man. Like,
You
let
can
me.
tell that
where's
Trent
this?
has never been to jail.
For real.
I'll tell you this: Trent's been to this jail as a firefighter, and let me tell you what and everybody can know this now. If you ever need to get out of the jail here before they move, if you go to it and just shoulder check the door really hard, it pops open, or at least it used to. That's how bad that jail is. Also, you can just, instead of going through the big metal door, you can just kick through the sheetrock right beside it under the window because it's just sheetrock. How do I turn this on, Q? I just hit this button
Click. Yeah.
and it turns on.
Then
Is it? All right.
I messed it up.
All right. So that's big news to me because I thought that if you showed up to your court case, your court date, then they're like, all right, cool. That money was just to make sure you didn't run.
Nope.
Wow.
You're ready.
So they're screwing people more than I even thought. And I was already like super pissed, right? Screen now.
Yeah, it's good.
I was already super pissed, and I thought you got your money back.
Nope.
Boy.
Yeah, got to take a hit on that one.
Oh, Trent.
I probably need to load it.
Yeah, it needs some more in there. I can taste it's kind of low. All right, well, after that, you heard it here first, guys. Man, they're just dirty. Okay, so speaking of the judicial system, Roy Cole went on a podcast, and it was weird because he was talking about medicine, and he was talking about it from an authority position. And here's what he said:
What type of medicine?
marijuana. Well, does it matter?
Well, no.
Does it matter?
No.
Like, why would... that's like having the sheriff on and being like, Roy Cole's here, and he's going to weigh in on whether he thinks Tylenol is better or ibuprofen. Why do we care what some freaking politician, career politician, oh my gosh, listen to that interview. I posted on my page today. He's such a... They asked him if he supported medical marijuana. He told him to take an hour to answer that. Bullcrap. Yes or no? It's easy. My 5-year-old can do that. My 5-year-old makes the right choices on cannabis too. All right, so why ask a sheriff his opinion on medicine at all?
Because he can affect our rights.
Well, right, but like, why? So, like, in my opinion, when we made it legal, we said, so what did that do for us as patients? Like, those of us that were already smoking weed, what did it do for us?
Should have taken the fear away.
Do you want to come over here? You should sit down. Okay,
Thank
okay. We have our live studio audience. And she got some good comments, though.
It should have given us the right to legally carry in our vehicles, legally smoke, and legally not have to worry about going to jail. For
Right, so when we
possessing
say that legally,
our medication,
we mean that the cops are supposed to leave us alone now.
but they're not.
That was the whole thing. Like, so cops used to have a war on patients and also people who use cannabis in a non-therapeutic situation. They lost their war on patients. Sorry, guys, the sick people won, right? They lost the war on patients, but they haven't figured that out yet. They think they're still at war. They think that they still have, like, a say or a place to be between a patient and their doctor and how they take their medicine. Why should a cop care about how much antibiotics you use? Hey, Sheriff Cole, talk to us about the new Klonopin. No, that's dumb, you know? How are you?
Good, how's it going?
Good. You want us? We're doing live, so if you want to sit down and okay, so I'm also going to take a hit because I just learned some bad information.
He's coming to get his medicine.
All right, you.
I can't believe how.
Hard that hits, huh? You want to hit that?
Hell yeah, I do. I ain't coming on
You
camera.
don't have to come in on camera.
Man, that hits nice.
Yeah,
That hits
I know.
really nice and hard and big. Do a little bit slower. Let it build up that vapor in there, and then you can really take a big hit. All right, so guys, yeah, there's also been a bunch of dispensary problems since our last blown smoke.
Yeah.
Is
Is it
Turned off.
So click it one time. See if it.
So
Yeah, no, wait until it turns green. You ready?
dispensaries
So when it turns green,
got approved, but not all of them.
there you go. Slowly.
Yeah, there you go, nice and slow. Yeah, that's perfect. So dispensaries came out, and there's a big kerfuffle because a lot of Missouri people didn't get their license, and that kind of sucks
That does.
for Missouri people. And like all my friends, now we had Health City people. They got some. Their people got some up there.
They did.
And, yeah, Viola. They're up there with Viola, and
They're out of state.
yeah, they're from out of state. Yeah, they're from Colorado. All minority-owned business, and they're supposed to be focused on helping minorities. And I never understood what that was until I started smoking weed openly, and cops started treating me like a horrible person. And now I'm like, yeah, maybe we should be giving minorities and poor people breaks. Maybe we should be like, I don't know, making it better for them because now we've got millionaires making millions off of it. Let these people, stop being punished
I've
for
been
it.
smoking all day. I don't think I really need any.
Oh, we got this. All right, guys. I just wanted to show this. I hope it shows up on camera. So this is the Wigwag Laughing Dragon down, and then we got a matching bowl on it. Hopefully I have that in the right spot. I just want to show that, guys. It's up here. It's $100. It's the first what should we call it? First personalized Laughing Dragon beaker. So I thought we'd show it off, and because we really, really, really like it.
It's got a cool design on it.
Right?
Come check it out.
And I'm thinking maybe next time, as we get fancier, we can get a down stem with some wigwag on it too. That probably had like another $40 or $50, but it'd make it just that much cooler, Or maybe we can get some wigwag up here at the top,
Yeah.
Then you're looking at a 10-inch, $200 and $250 beaker, and some people start to get hesitant to drop that much on a little beaker.
Right.
All right, cool. Glass Vegas was this week. For those of us in the glass world, it's a really big deal. Some really cool stuff showed up there. And yeah, so hopefully next year we will be at Glass Vegas, and I'll be doing some live from there with some $50,000 glass and oh my gosh, guys, all my friends are out there, and it really bugs me. I wish some more of my friends were like Bernie supporters and would have just given me money to fly out there, right? Like, come on, people, help me out. I'm once again asking for your donation.
Hook me up.
Right.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right.
I got some shirts right here.
You got some shirts here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
All right, so our anniversary is coming up, everybody. It's on February 15th. And here's what we're doing. So the 1-year anniversary is the traditional. Do you guys know what the traditional
Paper.
paper? So anybody that pays with cash on that day gets a free set of papers. So if you give us paper for it, we'll give you paper for our 1-year anniversary. So that's one of the ones we're throwing. You can wait over here. Oh, let me see this. Is this your ooze bag? Is that your ooze bag, or is that your focus? Oh, I think your focus bag. Guys, we got some really cool ooze bags that lock. It's good to go. But,
You have a zip? Of course. I'll do
all right.
I'll pay you the difference.
Okay.
We also have grow class going on that day. Oh, you got it? All right, guys. Is it unlocked? Yeah. All right, so guys, look, this locks right here.
You what?
80.
80.
And,
Got 20.
well, kind of. Here, I gotta do it both at once. Anyway, it locks right there. So then it's good to go and you can travel around with it and nobody can get you in trouble for child endangerment. Because
How
it's
does
locked
that
up.
how does that work?
Watch those.
How does it lock?
24 hours.
So it's
before you
got this
wash 'em.
little
Wash 'em inside out.
3-digit. This is the most.
It's
This is the craziest. The pot, Father. Cute. Show the camera.
Yeah. Shirts
The pot,
right
Father.
here. Stay lit. You didn't see that?
Oh,
stuff?
stay lit.
Yeah,
Okay.
stay lit.
So it's got a little thing here,
Cute,
and
Randy.
it's just got a little a
I love
3-digit
that
combination. You
gold.
set the
Love
combination,
that gold.
and then you can
Next
only
time,
open it
can you
if
do it
you
all?
if you have the combination.
Yeah.
You can
I can do that.
click it
That's what I
open. So.
want.
Yep. The gold's a little more expensive.
$26.
but I
26
can do
bucks,
the
guys.
whole
We have one left. It's Q already bought one
Yep. And I'll send you.
You gonna buy the other one?
lots of
Where the hell? When did he buy it?
yesterday.
I'll send you options.
I want to stick with.
Yes, I
more-
need it.
So
more
guys,
of
it's a
these
really
right
cool bag. We'll get some more because I guess we don't have any more.
It locks to where I can keep Miko out of my
Yeah.
childproof.
Yep, you can travel with it.
Yes.
you
No,
want
if you
hanging
have it
on?
up, nobody can really give you a hard time because it's about as secure as it gets for
Yeah.
cannabis. I mean, nobody has to
I like the
carry
black
a
one better.
freaking
Yeah.
ounce of
Bye, Dad.
cauliflower or nothing, you know?
Bye,
Like,
Chris.
you don't have to lock your lettuce up. See you later.
The long
I love it.
sleeves.
Stay lit. It's just in time for it to be cold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again.
For real.
Okay.
I got one.
Are you
Are you gonna
using
sit
it?
down? Look, you're all like halfway in my frame and everything. It's crazy.
Hold on.
Okay, so grow class. We don't know what we're doing.
This show's gone off the rails.
It has gone
officially.
off the rails. Well, we're more of like a virtual
You're a
smoke
live
circle.
podcast, is what you are.
Well, we're like a virtual smoke circle, right? I've got it up here. If you guys have any questions, let me know because I can see it right here, guys. That's what I kind of figured it would be like as we do it. And we've even got like the camera in the circle, which is kind of fun. But yeah, flowing. It's just a chat
Exactly.
session.
Just pull up a chair.
How much is
We-
on the bottom of the case?
26. Well, I gave it to her for 25 because I like to cut people deals, guys. So $25.
You big deal maker.
Casey told me I have to stop making good deals because the shop has to make more money.
Frank got in trouble.
I do. That keeps her focused. Though, so. All right, so classes are going to start up again. We're going to do classes once a month though, instead of once a week. I think that having them once a week made them so common that everybody was like, "Oh, I can just catch next week."
Yep.
Right.
So attendance after the first couple kind of dropped. So we're gonna try to boost attendance up here. Derek wants us to take a dab for him. I guess I did, Derek, because what the crap? We got a comment on a watch party. All right, so where did Q go? I was gonna talk. Anyway, so guys, we're gonna talk tonight about the gray market versus the black market versus the green market. All right. So in this new world that we find ourselves in, we have a few different ways of getting our medicine, especially right now. I think it's important to talk about it. And maybe nobody else will because they're scared of, like, I don't know, whatever. But I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to say how I think it works and how I have found it to work. And they charge you $45 a day to be in jail on top of the bond. Where does that money go?
I don't know, man.
Like, we got to find that money. Because I've been to Gallatin. That place is broke as crap.
Because it's going in
They're sure not-
politician pockets.
Right? Like,
ain't going
it
back
sure
into
isn't
the
going.
system.
It sure isn't going into the infrastructure of that county.
Nope.
Right.
Where does that $10,000 go? Just to that private prison, probably. It is. I hate it.
Yeah.
All right, so gray market, black market, green market. That's what we're talking about. Well, so
My jacket.
right now, especially, I was saying we have to look at all of our different options for getting our medicine because we don't have all the options. So we have to make sure that we understand what our legal options are now as patients. So we're going to talk about it like guns because guns are a constitutional right, and cannabis in Missouri for patients is a constitutional right. So as far as the Constitution goes and everything, they have the same legality. So if we talk, but people are used to talking about guns, right? Everybody's got guns in Missouri. So if you're a felon and you can't own a gun, but I can, and I sell you a gun, that's illegal. That's going from the legal side to the illegal. That would be a black market purchase because it goes from or to the black from or to an illegal possessor. See you guys to a legal possessor or from a legal possessor, and that's illegal.
Yeah.
But there's this really cool thing in Webster County, and I'm sure all the other police departments are going to hate to hear this because they think that they still get a say in patient medication options. But if I'm legal to own a gun and you're legal to own a gun, I can sell you a gun. I could do it. I could do it right here. I could be like, hey Q, I got an AR-15. I should have done this. I would have been thinking, but like, hey, I could just hey, here's a gun. Boom. You give me $100 for it or 10,000. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The government doesn't get a say in it, and that's because it's a constitutional civil right. Just like cannabis is now.
Yeah.
So, the gray market.
Yes.
You just can't go have it. You can't have it registered, right?
Well, we're not
You jumped
required to
into
register.
the- you
We're not
jumped into
required to register our firearms in Missouri.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's like a more liberal state thing. They'd like everybody to
Oh.
register. But here, the only place that has records is
See, I didn't know that about Missouri.
yeah, it's the only place that has records of your purchase is going to be the dealer, the FFL that sold it to you. They're required to hold weapons. They're required to have all that information, and then through the tracking system that's been set up in the country, they know the FBI, ATF. They know which serial numbers get sold where.
Right.
So then if if a gun comes up, it's got a serial number, they can find out who sold it. They know, okay, this number to this number was sold by Bass Pro Shops in Springfield. So they come up here and they say, hey, let us see your paperwork. And they look and see who. So there's no federal database on it. It's all with the local FFL.
I got you.
But at least that's how I understand it. I might be wrong, I'm not an FFL. That's just
Sounds
how I
about
understand.
right.
That's how I understand that it works. But yeah, so that would be like buying it from a dispensary. If you went to Bass Pro Shop to buy a gun, it'd be like going to a dispensary to buy your medicine.
Yeah.
That's where the government likes you to get it from because that's where they get the most money.
Yeah.
And that's where they have the most control. That's where they can check and be like, okay, this person's buying another gun. This person's getting,
Yeah.
They don't like the quote unquote gun show loophole, which is the gray market, which is I can sell whatever I want to another legal possessor.
Take a donation.
Right. Well, with guns, what I'm saying with guns,
Yeah.
you can just say buy and sell
Yeah.
because there's no taboo about that. Yeah, and that's the other thing, right? We talk about terminology. I want to talk about terminology tonight because I talk about that with people a lot. Oh, where is the lizard? Casey.
She's not gonna pick him.
I'll get
You
it.
go get him? Okay. Casey's scared of the lizard. I was going to have him out.
I'll get it. Okay.
So terminology is important too.
Yes.
Because, as we all know, we live in a litigious society, and if a policeman hears you say buy or sell weed instead of make a donation for medicine, they might think that they have the right to give you a ticket, which they don't. But, it's really hard to convince them of that in the moment.
Yeah, because
So in order to, avoid all of that Pharisees and Sadducees catching people in their words, come here, buddy.
shot body.
Yeah, there's my buddy. There we go. Yeah, you can hang out. There we go. We use words like donate,
Yes.
right? And officially, it's illegal to donate by weight, according to the Constitution. But how else are you supposed to do it, people? Like, I'm just being real. How else are you supposed to do it? It's been being done that way for forever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what else to do, but
that don't make any sense.
it's
because
dumb.
because when you go to the dispensary, it's gonna be by weight.
It's by
right?
weight.
Or if it's on the illegal side, they're gonna put it on the scale and they're gonna weigh it and they're gonna say
Right.
you got so many grams over your amount.
Right.
Don't pass go. Go straight to jail.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's
yeah, whoever
that was kind of a
wrote
weird
some
part of the
this
law.
stuff up, did not.
The Puff Puff Pass thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I called the governor's office. They told me that Puff Puff Pass was illegal. I told them to come write me a ticket then because that's insane.
Yeah.
And saying that
That is the most
Demonst-
ridiculous thing I've ever heard before in my life.
it demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of cannabis as a medicine and cannabis as a tool to bring people together.
Right.
They don't even understand it, but they're trying to be like, no, that's illegal. Because if Puff Puff Pass is legal, then me giving it to you and getting $100 for the ounce is legal too. And they don't want to admit that that's legal. But nothing else changes from now until forever. Nothing new is going into law. December 6, 2018, that's when it went into law. And the only thing that's changed since then is the licensing, some timeline rollout.
Yeah.
But nothing's going to change legally from now on out. So
Well,
whatever is legal in 5 years from now, as long as there's no change to the amendment, is legal now. So we don't have to play those games.
That's why they're trying to push rec so hard, so they can change it all up.
Yes. What do you
So-
think about rec?
I
Tell me your
think-
thoughts about the recreational stuff coming up.
I'm not gonna vote for it personally myself because we just got medical legal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by the time, well, I don't know, are there some dispensaries opened up and so on?
Not yet, no.
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 So by the time, the actual cultivators, right, get everything together,
Right.
and the dispensaries start getting medical patients in,
Mm-hmm.
is about the time where recreational is supposed to be
Right.
voted for, and then the next following month it's legal.
Right.
So then they're gonna just basically cut out medical marijuana.
Yeah.
Basically, and then
Depending
all
upon
these medical
the-
patients are gonna be paying $5 taxes.
Right. Right. And depending upon which of the, because there's two main ones, I think it's like 146 and 128 is the initiatives that we have right now. Those are like the two big ones. But one of them almost kills medical
Yeah.
all the way. And then the other one,
And
the other one still puts power to DHSS, and like Lyndall he didn't do his job for this rollout.
right.
At the end, he was doing everybody thought he was doing really good. He's giving us all the right answers, all the right stuff. But then when everything was released, we found that Missouri patients got screwed a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to give any more authority to DHSS. Rebecca says they're trying to say it's like pharmaceuticals. That's right. So there's an important, again, terminology. It's important. You don't get a prescription for medical marijuana. You get a recommendation
From the doctor.
from the doctor. So it's not the same as a prescription. So when law enforcement or judicial system tells you that you can't just serve prescriptions, you say, I know, sir. That's why it's a recommendation. Because the people who wrote the Article 14 have been through legalization 30 times.
Yeah.
They knew they had to pick certain words because they knew that the cops had screwed over patients in other states because of it. So yeah, it's a recommendation to use medical marijuana. It's not a prescription. So legally there's different definitions for those. So
Yeah, and I also wanted to note that the Springfield norm did not co-sign for any recreational. We just had a meeting and we didn't even vote on it, because we didn't really like what was said about it. So, and they said that we approved it, but we did not.
well, I think the Missouri normal did, right? Like the
Right.
overall parent one for the state
Well, yeah.
had chosen to approve 128, I think, wasn't it? But
Yeah, but they try to say that we stamped it
right,
not.
right.
So we're kind of going through an issue with that, but we'll get.
Well,
that.
I'm not gonna have any petitions here that give anything to DHSS because they haven't been able to handle medical, and I think
Yeah.
that's a really important part, right? Like,
They should have handled Jamie's situation.
oh,
You know.
months ago they should have
Yeah.
stepped in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Months ago.
A long
Absolutely.
time ago.
Because that's what finally happened,
crap.
right? What happened was everybody started calling and getting pissed off and talking to them
Yeah.
and saying, hey, you can't be doing this kind of stuff. And what happens with government is if you call them enough, if enough people call them, they will begrudgingly do what is right.
Yep.
It's literally peer pressure.
Think about the turmoil that him and his family is having to go through over
Oh, I know.
this. You know.
I know.
I mean,
he
here
still
he
can't
is
use his
thinking-
medicine and his blood pressure's through the roof.
Yeah.
And
I mean, here he is thinking that, hey, it's okay. I'm legal.
right.
And he goes to jail.
Especially people that got their medical card before dispensary. Anybody that gets their medical card before dispensaries open. I didn't know that they were like taking their life in their hands doing that. I thought they were like doing the right thing and that they would be rewarded for it. And if any cop stopped them, they'd be like, oh, sweet. I don't got to worry about this dude. I can go catch a criminal. But no,
Right.
instead they ignore Article 14. They still harass patients. And then when they get called on it, they can't say, I'm sorry, because that's admitting guilt. And for some reason, the government, Wilson,
Come here, boy.
what are you doing? Huh? He's jumping on my computer.
Listen.
Crystal says he can be hell to live with because he is off his meds. So look out, Jamie. Sleep light, buddy. But hopefully he said Tuesday or Thursday, she should find out. So that's really awesome.
What do you think about Rick coming in?
Well, I think that it should be completely legal and decriminalized. I think that it should be looked at as though it was lettuce, because that's really what it is. And so I like when rec comes in. What I like about rec is, and what people don't realize, and probably only like people that are looking at top level cannabis stuff realize, is that recreational is actually a funnel for medical. So when I go out to Colorado, I hang out with my sister, and I was like, look, I had some Blue Dream, and I actually had this, the Gobi, and I was like, look, just try this. It was about a year ago, because I was at Indo Expo a year ago, and I was like, all right, so here's this Blue Dream, and so she tried it. So that's the beauty of a rec state, is she can just be like, oh, okay, cool, and she can try it. She told me that was the best night of sleep I ever got, right? So I left her a Gobi, and I left her like a gram of Blue Dream. And so she kept using it. But see, what happens is you use a little bit at first, right? You're like, oh, okay, cool. You just use it for like the one problem, like for her was sleeping. She wants, right? But then she started finding out that, hey, this actually comes in handy a lot of other times, and people start, Karen's on now. Karen, she's my half sister. It's my half sister's mom. I got her to smoke weed too, but don't tell anybody.
Oh, okay.
She slept well. She slept well. She slept well also. But what that was able to do was allow my sister to try it without having to worry about anything.
Right.
And it takes the stigma away so that people are willing to not wait until cannabis is their last option. They can make it their first option, which is great. So what we see is we see when the rec happens, well, for one thing, and the state won't admit this because like the feds, they're scared of the feds. But the reason we want rec in Missouri is because we want other states' citizens to come and buy weed from our states.
Yeah.
Because if you're in Missouri and you need weed, you're going to be a patient because it's super easy to be a patient. Everybody qualifies, and you don't want to pay the 15% tax. So basically, what rec is it's a way for states to make a lot of money. Because like
Off the tours.
right, like Kansas thinks they're going to make a lot of money when they go rec. That's one of their slogans. Is like, weed is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and Kansas is broke. I saw that on one of their road signs.
Yeah.
They're very
Yep.
broke.
But like,
are
here's the
very
thing: they're not going to make any money off of other people coming to Kansas for weed.
Who wants to go to Kansas anymore?
Well, everybody around them already has legal weed.
Exactly.
So,
Well, who wants to
so
go to
Kansas, yeah. Why would you go to Kansas for weed? Nobody. So like, so don't tell Kansas legislators if I like pop that bubble, guys. But they're not actually going to make money off
But,
of it.
no, they
If they go
probably-
rec.
They have better soil out there than they do in Missouri, though.
In Kansas?
Oh,
yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
You're not hitting
Yeah,
rocks
they do.
out in Kansas. You're digging
Yeah.
Real
deep.
dark,
I
good,
hate
rich
that.
soil.
So I mean, yeah.
We fly. I like. My uncle's got a little plane, little 6-seater
There ain't
plane.
nothing in Kansas.
No, we
my
fly
best
to
friend's in
Hays, Kansas,
so-
and we land and we get gas and we fly up to Colorado Springs. But I tell you, I've never had a good experience in Kansas.
Yeah.
You guys used to live there, right?
Yeah.
Topeka?
I used to live-
Abilene.
Born and raised in Topeka.
Abilene, okay.
Yeah.
I used
That's
to,
where I met him. So Kansas wasn't all bad for me. you know?
yeah, it got you to Missouri.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Well,
You
actually,
either gotta go to-
We went from Kansas to Oregon.
And then
That's
Oregon.
a good move.
And then Oregon
Yeah,
to
from
Missouri.
Oregon to Missouri.
How was that move?
It was different.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah, because Oregon's
like-
weird. All of Oregon's, but they say Portland's weird, but
We lived in
Oregon's-
Medford, and it was
Oregon's
beautiful. It's
beautiful,
gorgeous,
but-
but it's expensive.
is it expensive?
Yeah.
Expensive.
There's a lot of weed and glass culture and
Oh,
hemp
yes.
culture in
Yeah.
Medford.
Yes.
So that's probably what happens is a lot of people making money
Oh,
off
yeah.
of weed, glass, and hemp right now up in
Exactly.
Medford, Oregon, and they're
Everything
really
goes up.
good.
Though.
Yeah.
Everything goes up.
Sure,
Property
sure.
taxes go up.
Yep.
And
Like-
that's what you're going to see here too.
Like
Once
you can get
you're going to see it.
crappy house with 1 acre of land, and you're going to spend over $200,000.
Right.
I don't know
Easily.
if you've noticed, but I've been, kind of because I kind of want to move out of our house, so I've been looking, and since medical marijuana has become legal, the real estate is slowly
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going up.
and
That's,
once
which is
That's-
it's good for part of the economy
No.
and bad for part of the economy.
well, it's not good for me
No.
because I want
Right. Well, it's good for the government side of the economy.
Going
It's
through.
bad for the consumer side of the economy. For that,
Yeah.
for that almost artificial increase to come in. Because Colorado, like if you on the south side of Denver, like the very southern part of Denver, it's like homes are in the mid 300,000s, and it's like,
Yeah.
look.
and they're not like
Nice ones. Yeah.
No.
like not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, cannabis can bring this town some money. Schools.
And jobs.
Yeah.
Schools.
Yeah.
Why are our kids being without lunches if they don't have money?
Right. Right.
The roads. Why are our roads shitty?
Right. Well, because I'll tell you why. Because it's easier to get a loan. It's easier for the city to get a loan on a new overpass than it is to get a loan on regular maintenance.
Here's
So
one thing.
instead of fixing the problems they already have,
They're creating more.
they're creating more. Right. And so we already can't maintain what we
They're
have.
just digging our hole deeper.
Right.
Whoever
And
engineered the roads were drunk when they did it, because the roads out here are freaking crazy.
well, yeah.
Like, they had too many beers or
Well,
sipping some
man,
moonshine or something.
but you've seen the topography of this place, right? Like, there's hardly a flat spot in Marshfield. Like, think about it. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot of perfectly flat spots. Unless it's-
Missouri's a lot like Georgia. Curvy roads, curvy and winding.
Oregon was like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oregon. Yeah.
you like Salt. Have you been to Salt Lake City or like any of the major cities in Utah?
I mean, I had to pass through it to get
Yeah.
to Oregon. from
Like,
Kansas.
it's all grid. All of it is grid.
Yeah.
Boom,
Oh, yeah.
boom, boom. And it's
So
like,
is Kansas.
it's like instead of being like instead of being like, oh yeah, meet me at the corner of Cherry and Grant. It's like, I don't know if those meet in Springfield or not. I just know those are two streets in Springfield. Over there, it's like 2200 West, 5000 South, boom. And it's like, you know exactly where it is.
Exactly.
It's like, you don't have to even know anything about the city. You can just be like, oh, I can just follow this road if I need to, and it's going to get there, then I'm going to take it across. It could be good to go.
Yeah, and when I got out here, I was like, what the hell is NN, DD, KK?
Right.
Like, what?
Right, yeah. Right. Yeah, there's
Like
A,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
And they all go like this.
Yeah, for real.
It's because
Makes
we
it
have
like
hills.
breakdancing, you know?
Yeah. Well, Salt Lake City's in a valley, right? So and Mormons got there and they're like, look, guys, we got to have some structure here.
Yeah.
Right? And so they got some structure and they did it the right way. They had a central government kind of before there was even a central government set up. So they're like, hey guys, why don't we like do it like this? And it would be cool. And then everybody did it.
Yeah.
And they kind of, all through Utah did that a lot of cities in Utah. St. George is like that, Provo, I think Provo. But anyway. What else we got?
What else?
I don't know. It's 7:45. What else do we have to talk about? Oh, no, I don't know. What do you think is important for people to know? Q, anything?
Stay medicated. Stay lit. Come to the Cannabis Cup. July
Yes.
25th.
So let's talk about the Cannabis Cup. What are your, and I know you don't have anything.
It's not
like,
Cannabis Cup. It's
Sorry.
lit Canna Cup.
The lit
You
Canna Cup.
Can't use Cannabis
Can't
Cup
use Cannabis
because
Cup.
it's owned by High Times, and I don't want to pay them $175,000. I don't have it. Sorry.
That tells you how much money is in cannabis,
Yeah.
right? Like High Times can be like, oh, you want to do a Cannabis Cup? All right, cool. $175,000 just to use the name.
Yeah.
And the insane thing is,
You got to do everything else.
but people do it.
Yeah.
People will drop $175,000 on that name because they know they're going to make that much when they can call it a High Times Cannabis Cup. That's like a big deal, official
Right,
thing.
right.
And the reason I'm guessing it's official is because it costs $175,000. You got to be the real deal
Right?
to do it. But dang,
When
that's-
he emailed me that number last night, I'm like, what are you $175,000?
So-
Are you crazy?
So the only way I could probably do that is if, Nelly,
Right.
Yeah.
Nelly.
we gotta get you, Tech Nine, we gotta get you out,
Tech-
you guys
yeah.
here, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm pretty sure they all watch this podcast. Like, I'm pretty sure Nelly's watching it. I thought I saw his name live. Kind of a big deal. They heard Will. Where was Wilson? Did you put him back?
I'm putting him back. because
He's a
Howdy.
punk, man.
Yeah.
He is, man. He's exhausting. He is
we
exhausting.
need to give him some more of those.
Well, look
green
at whose dad
worms.
is.
He really takes after me. It's weird.
Yes. Y'all
It's
have
weird.
the same little attitude, temperament.
Yeah, he's just a punk.
Yeah.
I don't know why people put up with me. Like, it's crazy. I mean, I pay Casey too. Casey, you want to come say hi to everybody? They miss you.
They don't like me.
No, they miss you.
Yeah.
Come say hi. Come sit down.
Yes, there's room right next
There's
to me, Casey.
room,
Come on.
and it finally calmed down.
Yeah,
and,
come on.
and you can hang out. We're about to close it down. Any questions for us, guys? Give us questions on here. And
I even got
check.
on here tonight. Come on, come sit.
Casey,
That's
what's
right.
been going on at the store for you?
Nothing.
Nothing?
The awesome ooze order is about
The Ood order's pretty
it
exciting.
really was. We got new trays. I
Yeah.
was super excited about those.
We need a lot of stuff in this store.
Yeah.
I always feel like we need. So I don't know how to stock a store because I'm not a business person. I'm just like a dude that likes glass. So
She seems to do a good job.
she knows everything. But I stock the shelves by density. I'm like, they don't quite look enough. Casey, we need to order another 40 hand pipes. And then Casey's like, we don't have any money. So we're in that growing period right now of
Yeah.
like this, for example. Like everybody wants them, but we don't have them in stock, so they go get them somewhere else. Which I'm not mad at anybody for doing nothing.
Yeah.
But it's like it feels like if we had a little bit more capital, we could like get ahead. And that ooze order felt like we got like everything like fleshed out again, and we got some raw stuff, and we got some this, and we got some that, and we got just like a little bit of everything. So
Yeah.
that ooze order was fun. It was really fun. And apparently she bought the other one, so now we don't have anything for anybody else.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Rebecca Rathbun says, hi, Casey. See?
Nobody likes me. It's
See?
okay.
So what else has been going on, Casey, with the store? You're making some stuff for Cody, some checklists.
Yeah. Cody
She's
does-
happy to be a
Cody
manager,
does that work,
guys.
huh?
Yeah, he doesn't do his job, so I have to make him.
You have
So
to
has
make him a
checklist.
honey to-do list?
Yes.
Oh, you get him, girl.
Well, see, like we're new to this too, right? And me and Casey started the store together. So like literally everything that's gone on the shelves, me and Casey, in fact, more so Casey than me at this point. Casey's seen everything that's gone on the shelves. So as we built the company, Ginger says, "Hey, Casey, people like you, Casey." So
Hi,
as we
Ginger.
built the company, Casey and I, we haven't had to write anything down because we've made the decisions together, and we've okay, let's go this way, let's go this way, let's go this way. So now we bring an employee on, and we love Cody, and he's awesome, but he hasn't been there throughout the whole thing. So things that me and her think are like common,
simple.
super
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
Cody's like, well, that doesn't make sense. We're like, well, of course it makes sense because, you know, in March of last year, we decided this. Well, Cody's like, dude, I need, you know, like,
I wasn't here then. I don't know
so
what you mean.
so Casey is having to develop some
Lists.
lists.
So
Right.
please do these so I don't have to do them myself. Then.
And we hate lists, and hopefully soon Cody
We can
won't
just,
look
like,
at the list and
file
he'll
it
just
away
do
and
it.
be done with it.
Be like Nike and just do it, Cody.
Right.
Nah.
Well, he will. Cody's awesome. Cody's awesome, and he will. And then, but I always hate like having to have like an employee handbook or like, I'm like, we aren't that big. I don't want to have. But some things have to have checklists because Casey would just do things in the store that I didn't know she was even doing. Like she like dusts everything. Casey dusts everything. She cleans everything, guys. And I didn't even know I wouldn't even like if it was up to me. There'd be like some of these things wouldn't ever got moved. Some of these things we've had, like
Well,
we've
no
had some of the
offense,
crafts.
Trent, but you are a man.
Well,
This is your area, and it's kind of messy.
Thank you.
it is kind of messy.
Did you notice when... well,
Nobody judged
how many
Casey
times
by
have
the
you been in my
table.
house?
That is not my fault.
The table is Trent's fault, and I've taken.
I don't know how many times you've been in my house, but do you notice that the upstairs
It's clean.
compared to his downstairs?
Oh, you got the basement.
It's a man cave.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Look, like sometimes.
Tell where you
My
stay.
big
That
space
whole-
down there.
Yes.
All the plants are down there.
Right.
Oh, whatever.
And then
Right.
Oh, man. They
I
have
got
an
my
excuse for
smoking
everything.
setup down there. It's,
I see my
Yeah.
kids' rooms. They're all boys.
I think maybe men can just like
No, I'm trying
they're
to
just a
do
little
that.
bit more comfortable in their own field.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like we did training in the military, we'd be like a
He's gonna be
week
somebody
without.
that has no
We call it
idea.
hitting the hot spots. You know what that is? Hitting the hot spots.
I ain't been
Yeah.
in the military.
Okay, so hitting the hot spots in the military is you take a baby wipe and you get everywhere that is hot.
Oh, yeah.
So
You
nasty.
hit the hot spots. Some crude people will call it a whore's bath.
Yeah.
Yes.
that
Now
sounds
we
like
would have
it.
known
We
what
would've
you're
known
talking
what
A
about.
whore. Oh, y'all know what a whore.
Yeah, we know.
So if I have to be in the military to know what a anyway,
Yeah.
Jennifer Dudley also thinks you're amazing. I think people like you, Casey.
Okay, maybe they like me a little bit.
Okay,
A
so
little bit.
what are we gonna do tomorrow? Tomorrow's gonna be like a nice day. Are you coming in tomorrow? Are you busy tomorrow?
I don't know.
Misty might come in the big house. We'll see. Her dad's been having some issues, I guess. I love seeing him. So on Saturdays at like 10:30, we have Misty, our friend. Hi, Misty. And I think it's her dad. Come in, and her dad's in his 80s.
I would say so.
Yeah,
I'm not 100%
and
sure, but
he comes in, and he's always happy to come to the big house and use the Super Surfer. And so I always like hanging out with Misty and her dad, and there's
always
some,
have good
and
stories.
her husband. Is that her husband that came with her?
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
not gonna say that because I don't know, but it may be.
Right. I don't know. But anyway, they all come in. It's just a really good time. So if anybody else wants to come to the big house tomorrow around 10 or 10:30, we like to start out Saturdays pretty slow around here. So like if you come in at 10, just come in and hang out with us. until like 10:30. Then we'll turn the lights on.
Maybe we've had a couple days this week where we haven't turned the lights on until 10:30, but you know.
It's been slow this week.
It's been super slow.
Oh my gosh.
The weather kills us.
Well, the weather kills everybody.
Yeah.
Like all the small business people I know in town are like, man, it's hard to know. Like I talked to the people down at Wild Horse Co. and Tea House, and they're both like, I never know when to close, when to open. Doris has it really good. If school's closed, she's closed. It's actually a pretty great idea. But then you got days like yesterday. It wasn't too bad yesterday.
Turned into a pretty good day, but it
Yeah.
was waiting until it.
Yeah, so tomorrow Saturday it's going to be a nice day.
We have doctor televisits.
We have
tomorrow.
doctor televisits tomorrow. Be here 12:30, 12:45. Get legal, and then get medicated, and then
Have a good Saturday.
have a good Saturday. Right.
Have a good weekend.
So another thing is our caregiver list, guys. We have a caregiver list. If you need a caregiver, we have a list of caregivers, and then you can get a hold of them.
We are looking for more caregivers, though.
Right. We're looking for more caregivers. Guys, I can probably use like 10 if I had 10 solid caregivers that can keep patients in supply at like $150 an ounce. We have a lot of patients that could really benefit from that. That's one of the, we didn't talk about it, but that's one of the benefits from going from black market to gray market, or going from being completely illegal to becoming a medical patient in Missouri, is you go gray market, which then means your prices are way lower. I know I've helped quite a few people because they're like,
my bar is just set too high for these guys.
well, they're selling it for like $300 or $400 an ounce, which you're legal now. If you're paying that much, please find a caregiver. I mean, straight up, weed does not cost that much, guys. I know I'm going to piss off some dealers out there, but come on, you know, that's one of the benefits of being legal is,
if you're paying that much, come see me. I will help you out.
right.
Honestly.
Okay, bye, guys. I gotta go close this door
Okay.
now.
We've got plenty of caregivers that can help out, and we also have some that are looking for patients to grow for. So, guys, I know that a lot of people will be like, "Oh, don't say that. You can't say that." Well, guys, that's the law, and so I'm going to treat it as though it's 5 years in the future, and I know how it's going to be because I've been to legal states. And
try to help.
If you're paying that much, you're getting screwed.
I'm gonna try to help everybody out as much as I can. So, like, if you're paying that much, like he said, $150, I'll take a donation for $150 an ounce all day long.
You know, and
All day
All day.
there's a lot of good Facebook groups. Guys, find a Facebook group. There's like Missouri Cannabis Network. There's all of them right now. Ricky and Mike and Jonesy, all those dudes that are like playing it in their place right now. They've set up some really cool networks and some really good networks on Facebook for patients to be able to connect with each other and network. And guys, you guys might see me use the hashtag Patients Helping Patients.
Always.
That's for real, guys. Because if patients aren't going to help patients, then who else is? It's not going to be big corporate MSOs coming in charging you $250, $300 an ounce for mids. Shout out to Show Me Mids, right? Like if you guys don't know about Show Me Mids, is that the Missouri Cannabis? That's not Missouri Cannabis Network. That's
This
is that? I thought that was Ricky's.
No,
Somebody
no,
tell
no,
us.
No. Show Me Mids is Mike.
Mike Fork and Jonesy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's their? They just changed the name. Is it Missouri Cannabis Collective now? You guys just changed your names. I don't know what it is. Is it Show Me Mids now?
I think it's
Maybe.
still Show Me Mids, right?
But yeah, guys, find a caregiver. Get better meds for less money. Stop buying bunk weed for $400 an ounce.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it, and you don't have to anymore.
Yeah.
So that's our show, guys. Thanks everybody for joining. Yeah, Melissa, we did talk about the city council, and we're gonna be there on February 15th. We're gonna be here at 6. Maybe we didn't talk about it. Did we talk about it?
No, we didn't. We
Oh,
just set
okay.
that event.
Okay, we just set the event. We're just gonna come here, guys. We just want to go and watch what's happening, right? Like it's interesting. This is like historic times in Marshfield, so we're gonna go and check it out. We're gonna smoke some, so we're all in a good mood.
It's like an episode right there, you know? Like, you got like a lot of drama, you know? Just with the mayor alone.
Right. Mayor says no. These, you know, like,
Front
Almost
page
like
of
a
the
soap opera.
newspaper.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
it's good. Like, why would I not watch that? I want
Yeah.
to bring in some, like, soda and popcorn. You know, just sit there. I got Michael Jackson, dude. Or Bill Cosby. That's Bill Cosby. I still like Bill Cosby. I don't care what nobody says. That's not a. Is that? Can we talk about Bill Cosby yet?
I don't
Himself. Have you guys watched Bill Cosby himself? The stand-up himself.
Yeah.
It's
A
the
long time
best
ago,
thing
yeah.
ever. That's like my most favorite stand-up ever.
Really?
I don't care what happened. I'm still gonna rep Bill Cosby himself. I don't even care.
Yeah, that was a good stand-up.
That was a
I like
great
Kevin
stand-up.
Hart, though. Kevin Hart cracks me up.
He cracks my shit up.
Yeah.
Every time I watch a movie with him,
Have you
I
watched
just
Cold as
roll.
Balls?
Knew you were
I thought we were
gonna-
gonna shut it down. I guess we're not gonna shut it down. Have you watched it on YouTube? It's a 15-minute Old Spice commercial, and it's Kevin Hart getting an ice bath with some like athletes. Like he gets Floyd Mayweather on there for one, and it's funny because like he'll be trying to get in, and he'll be like, you know, like it's here, and he's like, all right, so, and then he like sits like this. Floyd's like, you're not even in. He's like, shut up, I'm in. So if you like
I
Kevin
love
Hart,
him.
it's
I
freaking
love him.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think him and The Rock should do. Did we talk about that on this yet? On this show, him and The Rock should do Abbott and Costello's Who's on First, because I think their dynamic between The Rock and Kevin Hart and doing that, because you know Kevin Hart can get like pissed, like just like that little like,
Yeah.
and you can be the dude yelling. The Rock's like, no, it's this, and Kevin Hart gets pissed off. What are you telling me? You know, guys, if anybody knows them, like, let's make it happen, because you know.
That'd be great.
Nelly, if you're still watching.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
still watching.
We'll see you guys later. We're out. Thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you next time.
See
Peace
ya.
out, people.